with you that led me and got me here today? Well, first of all, God has truly blessed me in so many areas, and I'm very, very grateful. But you know, when you do things and you do things well, people like to use you up. And they want to get all the goodness, but they don't want to pay anything for it.
Come on, speak.
And I had an offer to speak in Mississippi. I was really upset about it. I wasn't upset, but I just said, no. I've been there twice for them, and if I go this time, they're going to pay me. And as a matter of fact, I'm not going anywhere else without being paid.
Wow.
Well, guess what? Sister girlfriend called the next day. And I toyed with it. I said to my assistant, nah, I don't think I'm going.
Wow.
It doesn't feel right. But what I was feeling was that I couldn't not be here. So here I am. And you've heard all these wonderful things. I don't have a PowerPoint presentation for you, but I have some great stuff for you.
Yes, you do.
And today I'm going to talk about 4 basic areas for you as you're running your business. And the first thing I'm going to talk to you about is focus. Now, I know most of you are either in business or you're far enough along with your business that you understand how important it is to be focused. Well, like many that you've heard, I'm probably the worst case you'll ever hear of a person starting a business, knowing what they wanted to do, but I wanted to do everything at the same time, like right now, with the same amount of money. And I didn't have enough money to fund the first business with. So I had to really hone in on what am I going to do first. And secondly, once you get that one thing up and going to create your brand, that's what people get to know you by. Remember at lunch I said I used to be the security lady? Well, I became the security lady on purpose because that was part of my brand. But when I am doing all these other things, included in my brand, that is not a good thing. Because the exposure is going to be higher, you're going to spend less time on the one thing that is going to be really, really the ideal thing that you should be doing to make money. And you're also, the lack of focus will scatter you all over the place. Yes. But when you're focused, you've got to have a laser sensor in there.
Yes.
And I want to come back, a comment you made earlier about write the book. I heard you talking about spend time with your manuscript. I actually made an appointment with myself. I gave myself 6 months to write the book with my hectic schedule. But I assigned 6 hours every Monday until my book was finished. And I actually got the book done quicker than I thought I would, which was good because I needed the time on the backside. But I scheduled that appointment and I prayed about it. I said, Lord, please give me the diligence and the commitment to doing this as you do with so many other things. So that's where this module comes from, focus. And focus is it's a complete module and it's part of my university, which is launching in September. It is the FACTS University, which is a training program for entrepreneurs, teaching them to become CEOs of the businesses that they own.
Yes.
And then secondly, analyze. I mentioned the SWOT analysis when we were in lunch as well. But if you don't know what you're working with, when you start your business, you don't know where you're going. If you're not a planner, if you don't have relationships and resources already, you're already starting a business at a deficit. So the time may not be right, or the thing that you're planning to do, perhaps you haven't settled on that yet. So you want to be clear what it is you're doing. You want your purpose. I always tell people to answer these questions. The who, what, when,
and where.
Where, and how.
Absolutely.
But you know that why question is the last one people normally can answer. And it is a big one, but you can't move and be successful until you answer the why question, because that's the driver. Yeah. And so as you're analyzing yourself, you gotta do your homework if you're starting a business. You want to know your competition. You want to know how do you stack up against your competition.
Absolutely.
The things that I'm offering, are there substitutions? Is this the right way to do it? So during that analytical process, you really, really want to ask lots of questions, but you want to get answers from them as well, prior to starting your business. And so in conducting that SWOT analysis, for example, I started a security company. There aren't women, and there were no women running security companies when I started mine. The first question I asked was, why? Why are women not in the security industry?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it takes courage, it takes boldness, it takes being able to stand up and challenge men. It also requires you not being popular, because you know when we do things well, it can be the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
but we get called a different name.
Absolutely.
And so in analyzing yourself, you can't allow those things to stop you. Rather, you should use that as a means of building your confidence, because if you are prepared, I tell us that we have to be over-prepared. If you're on time, we also have to be early. And when you're doing those things, that's what's expected of business owners, right? We talked about all those hours that we put into it, but we want to make sure that when we're conducting an analysis of ourselves, we're being truthful to our own self. Can we handle more than one project at a time? Do we have the infrastructure already in place? What about the credibility? We heard them talking about that earlier. Can I get a loan on my credit alone? Well, what are some other resources? How can I get around not using my own personal credit to get a line of credit, to get a loan? These are all, then you do all that in your analytical stage, and then make the commitment. You're now focused, you know what it is you're doing and what you're working with, but you've got to become committed to the process. That's stage number 3. So you become committed. What are you committing yourself to? As an entrepreneur, you already know that we don't have a schedule. It's just 24/7. It's just 24/7. But how long? How long are you going to run your business? 24/7. What are you doing, and when will you make the commitment to become the employer of your company and not the employee?
Absolutely.
When will you determine, and are you going to make the commitment to make the changes